Hey, everybody. Hi, guys. Happy Monday. Happy very hot summer day. Super hot, isn't it? Oh my gosh. I think I was complaining a couple weeks ago that like summer wasn't here, like we never really had a summer, and then
It's here.
all of a sudden it just got like a million degrees, and I like literally feel like a popsicle.
It's not just the heat, it's the humidity. It's terrible.
It really
It's
is. I
really
mean, not good for the hair. Let's just say, not good for the hair.
dude like me put it up in a ponytail every
I
single
almost did that
day.
actually today. Hi guys, how you guys holding up in the heat? Is it hot where you are? Super hot here.
Yeah, let's do a check-in while we're waiting. Where's everybody chiming in from? Notice
She is here, of course.
I didn't say calling. I didn't say
Huh?
I said chiming. I got a new
You
word.
got chiming.
Chiming.
Come on, girl.
Yeah.
I'm there.
Chiming.
Chiming in. Yeah, that's right. So Gia's in the house, and she's got a really killer T-shirt on. Rise and slay. She means business. Gia has started Pilates,
Yeah.
and she is all in 5 days, 6 days,
Five or six.
5 or 6
5 or
days a
6.
week. Man,
Yeah.
she is all in, and her T-shirt is really representing her today. Rise and slay. So
I look like the Hot Mess Express, for being honest, coming in here, but thanks.
no, you're perfect. It's all good. So it's very, very warm, and it's Monday. It's the 17th of August. And thank you guys for joining in today. We're going to be talking about change. Yeah, we're going to talk about how we see it. I like the letter today. I really enjoyed it. So I hope you do. So we'll get into that, of course, and we're going to do a reading giveaway today also. So that's awesome, and Gia will obviously organize that so beautifully like she always does. And so that's going to happen today. And do you guys have a good weekend? Anybody do anything fun? I would love to hear what
Well,
you guys have
you
been
did
doing.
you were crazy busy this weekend. What
Yeah.
did you do? You did what? 3 small group readings, and then you had the spirit guide workshop, which we're
Yeah.
going to talk about later. But
Yeah.
you were pretty busy.
Yeah. Well, it was a busy week. I had a full week actually with readings, and then the weekend I had 3 group readings, and I taught a workshop. So yeah, it was full. I was pooped come Sunday night.
Which we're definitely going to get to that, because I want to talk about that, because I
Yeah.
actually attended, and there's
Yeah,
probably
she
going to be
did.
some of you guys probably on here probably attended, so we're going to get some
Yeah.
feedback and we'll talk about it.
Wonderful. Yeah, love.
Okay.
Yeah, we'd love to hear.
Yep.
Love to hear the feedback.
For now, let's do a little
Yeah.
roll call.
Okay, cool.
All
Let's
right.
do it.
Also, if it's your first time on, I know I say this every week, but I forgot. Let us know as well if you're coming on.
Yeah.
If somebody in the group maybe shared a page with you, we're always curious. If you guys are sharing, we want to know.
Yeah.
It's good information.
Yeah, thank you for you that shared the page, and I would say thank you so much for sharing the page and for sharing it with your friends or talking about it. We're so grateful, and we thank you so much, and love that. So thank you so much for doing that and really helping us spread the love of these wonderful letters and this kind of community that we're forming here together, us, G and I, and you. So we appreciate it so much. So we're a team, all of
Yeah.
us.
And it looks like, actually, because you had mentioned Sandy's been sharing it. She's on right
Oh,
now.
hey, Sandy. Yes.
Calling in
She
from
has
Reno.
been giving, she has brought some friends on for
That's
Letters
awesome.
from Spirit. So, Sandy, you're amazing. Thank you so much for doing that and for spreading the love and, allowing the opportunity for somebody else to kind of see if, in fact, they have fun here too and might help them forward. So, thank you so much for that. So, thank you.
All right, so let's do
Yeah.
a little roll call, a little shout out. Kat Marie's on, says hello.
Hi, Kat.
Carrie.
Hi,
just saying
Carrie.
hi. Paula.
Hi, Paula.
We'll probably get to where they're calling in from next, but this people when they came in to say hello. So Evie's on.
Oh, hi, Evie.
Kat said her house is 86 degrees inside.
Inside, yeah. I have no
Oh,
air conditioning in my
heck
house. I live
no.
at the beach, and you can't have air at the beach. For some reason, the air conditioning systems don't last or doesn't work or whatever. But I was a popsicle today, so I feel you, girl. It's warm.
86. I would die.
86.
I would die.
I was probably 86 too. Oh, so hot.
That's hot.
Yeah.
Julie chiming in from Riverside.
Hey, Julie.
And let's see. Of course, Sandy's in Reno.
Yes, Sandy.
Linda.
Hi, darling.
Linda's
Hi, Linda.
on.
Hi, Linda.
Sharon's here.
Hi, Sharon.
Linda from Boston says it's cooler in Boston today.
Oh, it is. So Boston's a little bit cooler. Okay. Because I know like East Coast kind of had a heat wave and then they had a storm before that. So the temperatures have gotten better. So good for you.
Yep.
So perfect.
Sandy said hot and smoky. That's right. They have fires going on up in the Sierras, I think,
Oh,
again.
yeah. Oh my God, I hate that. It's
Yeah.
all the beautiful trees.
Yeah.
Is it under control? Is it containable? Do you know?
Probably not.
I don't watch the
Yeah.
news.
Yeah, you don't.
I really
watch
don't.
it.
I don't watch the news.
A lot less of it these days.
Do you?
But,
Yeah,
oh,
I don't really watch the news. So I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of there's a lot of fires breaking out. We've got some down here too.
Yeah, I've seen them on Facebook, but
Yeah.
I get enough news that way.
Let's see. Pamela, I said calling, chiming in from Chicago, joining us.
Hi,
from
Pamela
Chicago.
from Chicago.
Let's see. Carrie. Northern California. They had some crazy.
Oh.
Carrie's saying that they had thunder and lightning today at 82 degrees. They had the
Whoa.
craziest. My girlfriend lives in San Jose.
Yeah.
Craziest
Really?
lightning storms.
Really?
It was crazy, and it was humid and hot up there, like total earthquake.
Like today?
Crazy hot. It was early in the morning. It was almost like
Really?
5 in the morning, and it was like a lightning show like you've never seen.
I think the lightning shows are kind of
Yeah.
cool, though. You don't get them that much here, but is it going to be moving up our way?
I
'Cause
have no
sometimes
idea
Northern
what direction.
California it comes.
I have no.
Come to us.
It was crazy. I mean,
Okay.
Sharon, Rhode Island.
Hi, Sharon from Rhode Island.
Angela in Nevada.
Angela, hi.
And let's see. Kathy says she's really hot and she's melting. I feel you, girlfriend. It's warm.
We're all a bunch of popsicles.
And Kathy was on the workshop. She was
In
on
the
the
heat.
workshop yesterday, actually. So
Kathy?
yeah, and she's on right now.
Okay.
So when we cover that, we'll be looking for
Oh, yeah,
some
we'd love
comments
to hear
from
what
her.
you thought about
Yeah.
the workshop, Kathy.
Letty says hello.
Hi, Letty.
And let's see here. Sandy also attended the workshop yesterday. Both were amazing.
Oh, thank you, Sandy. Good. You had a good time? You enjoyed? Hope you
And-
guys learned some stuff and
Yeah, I definitely
Yeah.
want to talk about that
yeah,
a little bit.
perfect.
Jeannie says hi.
Hi, Jeannie.
Kelly from Simi.
Hi, Kelly.
And Annie says hello.
Hi, Annie.
Christine still in, looks like Southern Oregon. So hot, but loving to hear you.
Oh, Christine, you're still in Oregon. Wonderful. It's a nice place to be in the summer, I bet, right? It's probably really beautiful up there.
It probably is.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
it's
I know my
wonderful,
son
too.
was in Seattle. I know it's not Oregon, but Seattle, it's up that way.
Mhm.
And such pretty summers up in Seattle. So
Mhm.
I'm sure Oregon's beautiful too. Enjoy.
Dale says hello. Excited to be here.
Dale.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, Dale.
Yeah.
How are ya?
Paula
Thank
says
you.
hi.
Hi, Paula.
Tammy O'Neill's on, says good evening.
Hi, Tammy.
Kat says she's glad she's not alone with no AC.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it's another level. It's another
Ooh, I
level.
don't know. I couldn't
We
do it.
bought one of those. They have these little units that you can buy, like these portable ones that have been saving us. But it's like for the bedroom for at night. But it's like I just hang out in the bedroom because it's so hot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I'm here every day, so it's a lot of air conditioning here. But today I was home and I was melting.
Exactly. Okay.
Get one of those units.
Right.
They glows.
Sherry also has no AC.
You too?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, we have to be
Ooh.
the no AC girl club.
Yeah.
It's yeah. Especially if you got a lot of hair.
Yeah.
Oh, ponytail all the way.
Yeah. For
Yeah.
sure.
You
I'm
just
not
can't
gonna. I
worry
mean,
about it.
I do have AC.
You
and
do have AC.
You know I do, and I've
yeah,
been
I
running
walk
it.
into your house. I'm like,
I can't live without it. I would just
I know,
absolutely
you
melt.
got that thing monitored too. You got it at a certain temperature
All the
through
time.
day, all the time.
Well,
She's on it.
well, partially, at least this is what I say, is because I have 2 French bulldogs, and they're very brachial dogs.
They're spoiled.
They're a little
Very, very
spoiled. They're little spoiled, but I need to keep them at a certain temperature, and so we
Of
like to
course you
keep
do.
them cool.
Of course you do.
So that's my answer, and I'm sticking to it. So I tell my husband,
Understood.
yes,
Got to take care of those girls.
exactly. Okay, so Rita says
Agreed.
hi.
Rita. Hi, Rita.
Jessica, hi from Thousand Oaks.
Hi, Jessica. Thanks for chiming in.
Amy, hello from Nebraska.
Hey, Amy. Thanks for chiming in from Nebraska.
Mary said she enjoyed her reading last Wednesday.
Oh, hi, Mary. Thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed your reading.
Nettie's San Clemente. Hello
Hey,
from San
Nettie.
Clemente.
Hi. Oh, from San Clemente.
Uh-huh.
Perfect. We're neighbors.
Yep. Kim says hot in Atlanta too, and I bet
Is
it's
it?
humid there too.
So it's hot in Atlanta.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Karina, hello from Virginia.
Hello, Karina from Virginia.
Dale says it's 100 degrees right now in Woodland Hills.
Ooh. Yeah, I believe that because the valley gets really hot, right? So,
Yeah.
oh my gosh. Did Dale have air conditioning? Honey, do you have air conditioning? We want to make sure that you're
Yeah,
comfortable.
nice and cool.
Yeah.
Lori says hi to both you and I.
Hi, Lori.
Rita's saying it's raining there in Pennsylvania.
It's raining in Pennsylvania.
Mhm. Judy, hello from Oklahoma.
Judy or Julie?
Judy from
Judy.
Oklahoma.
Judy from Oklahoma. Hi, Judy. Thanks, you guys, for chiming in.
Paula, hi from humid Ohio. Right? Humidity is worse than the heat. I'm sorry.
It is. Hi, honey.
Lindsay says hi.
Oh my
I
God.
hope I'm saying this right. Tanu.
Tanu, is that
Tanu,
correct?
hi. I was in your small group this past weekend. It was wonderful.
Oh, you were in one of my group readings. So thank you. You had fun? Isn't it kind of amazing when you do these group readings because you get to kind of get your own reading and you get to listen to everybody else's reading and it really does touch you even when you're hearing other people receive messages. It really is. It touches you because you get to see how their loved ones are kind of lifting their hearts. I just love that about the small groups.
I enjoyed them. I actually have been
You-
on your very
yeah.
first one I went on.
Yeah, you did.
And I loved it, just hearing everybody's, it's just interesting.
Yeah, and it's different than like
fun.
audience readings because
Yes.
it's only 8 of you, so
Mhm.
it's kind of cozy, So
Exactly.
yeah, I like them.
Okay. Okay. Pamela. Hi, Monica and Gia.
Hi, Pamela.
Alicia from Oxnard saying hello. And let's see. Your husband, Joe, his usual kiss has been sent.
Oh, hi, honey.
Okay. Let's see here. Kathy just said she learned so much. She thought you were talking about. Oh, we're going back. We're going to talk about this, like the beads. You remember the beads? You were talking about
Beads.
the
Oh, the binaural beads.
Yeah, and I thought you said to buy normal beads, and I was funny.
You probably weren't finding those on the internet, were you?
Right, I mean, we'll do
Binaural beads.
Joanne says hi, Monica and Gia.
Hi, Joanne.
Let's see, Christine loves hearing your stories from Ventura, but still visiting
hi,
in hot
Christine.
Gold Hill, Oregon. So speaking of that, while we're finishing roll call,
Yeah.
I know you have a couple stories and you have some questions you're going to address.
Yeah.
But if anybody on right now has any mediumship type questions for Monica, go ahead and start putting them on. And as I get to the bottom, and you can maybe tell. Well, let me run a couple more roll call here, and then you can tell a couple of.
We'll see if they want to post a little,
Yeah.
So as you're doing that, just real quick, if you guys have any questions for me, post them in the comments. If any of you guys have any questions about the small group readings that we did, or any questions on things you might have question about maybe wanting to have a reading, or some, myths that you heard, you want clarity on, or anything, I love answering your questions. So post them if you want.
Perfect. Melissa from Kentucky.
Hi, Melissa.
She says, hey.
From Kentucky. Hey.
And yes, Dale does have AC.
Good, Dale.
Pam.
I know Dale.
Oh, you do?
Yes,
cool.
I do.
Got AC. Veronica, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. She was in the workshop yesterday, actually.
Oh, okay. Good. Hi, honey.
Oh, Pamela Smith said, I'm going to read it.
Yeah.
Monica, just want you to know that you were so spot on about what you told me in my tarot reading. We never really talk about those too much.
I know, I don't really talk about
They're pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's amazing. I looked at my daughter today and said, Monica told me this would happen. So there you go.
Oh, thanks, Pamela. Thanks for sharing that. I don't do a lot of tarot readings. I actually don't even have it on my menu really anymore. So if anybody wants a tarot reading, you have to just email me privately, and I can schedule something. But I don't actually, do them so regularly anymore. But I still will. But email me. So thanks, Pamela. I'm glad you enjoyed.
Okay, a few more. Nadine, Northern Virginia.
Hi, Nadine.
Angela said she lost us, which Angela, I think I did see that. I saw a broadcast interruption about a second ago. It's back on. I don't know why we're being a little challenged.
We're being challenged.
I don't know. Past couple weeks.
Maybe it's all that change.
Oh, storm coming. I keep losing you. Okay, so
it's them. Maybe is it maybe them?
I don't know. I think we're back on. I think we're okay.
I remember doing a storm with somebody that were in Chicago, and the same thing happened even when we were doing reading. We had to log back on.
Yeah.
In Chicago, I think.
Well, maybe they post some questions.
Yeah.
You had a couple questions you said that you were given that you wanted to respond
to. So I went through and looked back at some of the comments yesterday, and we did it last week, and we did a good job of answering a lot of your comments last week. So there wasn't really so many, but so I thought, I would pull a question or two that were relatable from actual clients that I've done readings with. And so I had a client today, actually, and I did a mediumship reading with her, and today was a soul session with her, focus on that. And, when I did a reading with her, I brought in her husband, and he'd given me his name through an image of Mickey Mouse. And today, actually, she asked me, and when we were in our soul reading, she says, why did my husband give you a picture of Mickey Mouse to explain his name? Why didn't he just say Mickey? Because her husband's name was Mickey. So, and I said to her, I said, well, because the spirit world know kind of how we work. And so the spirit world, like for instance, for me as a medium, spirit world know that I'm very good with pictures. I'm very good with images. And when her husband gave me Mickey Mouse, it made me say Mickey Mouse. And then the client says, oh, my husband's name is Mickey, right? So he gave it to me that way because it might have been easier for him to give me his name through an image, right? Because Mickey Mouse, I mean, it's kind of hard to mess up Mickey Mouse, right? I mean, you can't mess that up. And so I said to her that the spirit world is going to use whatever's going to get me to understand it best. And since I'm so clairvoyant and I can use images so well, that Mickey Mouse was a wonderful way and actually really smart of him to do that, because I would see it. So I answered that question to her. I said, that's why your husband gave me his name that way. But also somebody said, why? And I had another client who I brought in her son, and her son had said to me at the end of the reading, I gave her this wonderful, beautiful reading with her son. And then at the end, I always say, do you have any questions? And she said to me, Monica, how come my son didn't give us his name? And I said, well, they don't always, it's not up to me. It's up to kind of what they want to give. But I really believe it's kind of like I always say, they kind of have an agenda of what they want to say. And I said to her, I said, listen, darling, I said, would it be more emotionally healing for you if your son said his name to me, or when he said to us in your reading, thank you, Mom. Tell Dad thanks for putting me in my very special t-shirt when you laid me to rest. What is going to be more impactful for you and your husband? For him to come forward and say his name, or to say thank you for picking that t-shirt to lay me to rest, my favorite t-shirt that his father had picked out for him. So that was far more important and more emotionally, more meaningful in the reading. And so the son wanted to use that. And then, sometimes, they'll give you, so anyway, so sometimes they give you readings. Sometimes they give you the name, but they don't always give you the name. But I always just trust you get what you need. And, when I said that to the mom, she was like, oh, yeah. And I started going into all the different things her son had said in the messages. And those obviously were far more important than knowing the name, because that information was very clear it was her son. So that makes sense. So anyway, that's a question that I got. So about people ask how come sometimes we get names and sometimes we don't. And I think sometimes the information that the client needs to be more practical. And sometimes what the client needs to be more emotional. And your loved ones know that. So practical would be more of the name, and emotional would be more, like what I told you about the t-shirt. So, and I think they know what the loved one needs. They have their agenda. So anyway, I just thought I'd ask that, because sometimes you get names in readings, but you don't always. And that's my take on why.
Yep. Yeah. We got a couple more folks that came on. We've got Christina Spokane. And we've got
Hi, Christy.
Chris from South Dakota.
Hi, Chris.
And while you guys, again, if you have any questions, now is the time, go ahead and ask away.
Yeah. If you have any questions for me.
Absolutely. And then we're going to kind of talk about yesterday, the workshop, because I know we have quite a few on here that were on it. So I definitely want to address that.
Yeah, wonderful.
But you said you had a pretty funny story.
Yeah. Oh, so this is so cute. So I have to tell you this. So I was in a reading the other day, and I was doing a Zoom reading, and so I was, I always kind of sit a minute, and I kind of want to feel who I have stepping in for the reading. And so I was sitting here, and I have my client on Zoom, and I'm like, So I'm sitting there, I'm like, okay. And I said, okay, honey, I have a lot of little old ladies here for you. And I want to share this story because the reason why I want to share this particular story is because I want you to understand how the spirit world knows what we need. And this is a lovely example of how the spirit world works to lift our hearts and to help us forward in life. And this is a very cute story on exactly that. So I feel this. I said, I got some little old ladies here, and I didn't feel grandmas or anything, I said, there was a bunch of them. I said, I got like several here. I got 3, 4, I got a few old ladies here. And they're talking about you helping them with their coughing and their oxygen, and and one's talking about always bringing you her chocolates, and one's talking about how you would come see her and it always put a smile on her face. And she's always talking about how when you entered the room you would smile. And this one was talking about your hug for your a birthday hug and a kiss, and all these different things are kind of happening. And I said, and there were, and these little ladies were just kind of chiming in, all giving all of these little examples of things that went down with my client. And so I said to my client, I said, honey, do you work in a senior care place? And she says, yes. And I said, because I got all these little old ladies here that want to like say
for?
that she took care of. And I said, all these little ladies are coming in. I said, they keep talking about all these things that my client did for them. And I said, oh, and I said, this one is talking about how she always liked to look really good still, and that you would compliment her. And my client's like, yeah, that's true. I did. And you should always like to look pretty. And I said, and you would understand bringing desserts, chocolates for this lady? Oh, I always made sure that she got a dessert because she wouldn't eat it at lunch. And yes, I would. And I said, would you understand this oxygen in the coffee? Yes, I always made sure because she had this respiratory thing and all of these different things. And I said, gosh, they're coming in to say thank you so much for being there for them in so many ways. And they're just coming in with great gratitude for you. Would that make sense? Because they want to say thank you that you made a great difference in their life. My client started getting really emotional, and she said she's got really emotional. She started tearing up, and she says, it's been a really hard week. And I said, why, honey? And she says, I've been questioning myself and if I do enough at my job and if I make a difference in my work. And I'm like, wow, all these little old ladies are coming in telling her,
yeah, that's
all
cool.
of this. And I said, and happy birthday to her. And yeah, her 100th birthday, I celebrated, gave her a hug and a kiss on the cheek. That's true. I'm like, they're all coming in like all these ways and how you really lifted them and made them happy and made them smile and all this kind of stuff. And she said that she was actually struggling with not being sure that she actually made a difference or added any value at her job. And she was really down on herself. And she got so emotional. The little ladies all came in from the other side to lift her up and say, no, you make a great difference. Isn't that amazing?
Well, just
I
circles
don't
back.
even know. I swear I'm probably not even saying it as good, but it was unbelievable. Think about that. Like all these little ladies come in from the other side, and they all got together from the other side. They all knew each other in the facility. They all get together, and they all start talking about all the different things that she did for each of them. And she was struggling with not thinking she did enough or did anything that made a difference. And they said, you made a great difference. And then my client, think about that. That is the love of the spirit world. Well, isn't that, I always say you get what you need.
I just was going to say, that's how it all circles back.
I always say that. I always say you don't get what you want, you get what you need.
For sure.
And isn't that amazing? I just thought that was awesome.
That's a good story.
That's really good. And I swear, I really just butcher stories. I'm not really, I hope I explained. I don't know if I explained it. Did it make sense?
Yeah, there
was so much more that they had said, but it was like, wow. I just thought that was amazing. It was all these little ladies came in. I thought it was so great. All from the other side.
Like I said, you're going to get what you
need. They all
lined
up. I'm like, wow, there are all these little ladies. I loved it. Isn't that a cute story? Anyway, okay. I just thought I'd share because that's an example of how the spirit world works.
Got a couple questions for you. You ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Carrie has a question. If you hold on to someone's ashes instead of scattering them where they want it, are they unsettled in any way?
No. Actually, I did a reading a couple of weeks ago, actually, with that question, with that question. And I think it was a father that came in and the ashes were on the mantle with a picture of him and his hat. And I had said, he drew me to the mantle and I said, there's a picture of your dad and there's a hat. And he says he's there. And she said, yes, his ashes are there too. But, with a hat and a picture, yes, on the mantle. Yes. Okay, perfect. And he says he loves it. You keep coming there and visit his picture. And that you kiss the urn. And so, yeah. But she said, I was always worried because he wanted to be spread and we didn't do it. I wasn't ready to give it up. I wasn't ready to do that yet. And Dad was really happy that she just came and had the picture there and she came to say hello to him with the picture and to kiss the urn. So no, I don't believe that they mind that at all. No. I think really it has to do really more. They're good. They want you good. So if it makes you better to have them there, then perfect. I think I would say no. I don't think it matters.
Well, I've got a couple questions involving birds.
Birds.
Two separate
Okay.
questions, right?
Perfect. Birds. Okay.
But it involves birds, and I
Okay.
know birds have a lot of meaning. So
Hmm.
Angela says, "What does it mean when an owl flies by you less than 6 feet away from you?" Then the next is, "Do red cardinals really have meaning?" So bird questions. I mean,
Right.
yeah.
You know, if there's a connection with your loved ones and the birds specifically, I would think it would be because they loved birds, or there was a connection with owls or birds or something kind of like that with them. Um, Again, like I said, like last week, I think that it really has more to do with if you keep seeing it and if it stirs something within you that gets you to think of somebody that's on the other side, then that's why that happens. Um, does that make sense? So I don't, like, again, I always say, like, your loved ones aren't the bird, they're not the owl, and I don't think you're saying that anyway, but you're saying, what does it mean? And I think it's just getting your attention. And the question is, the owl got your attention, obviously, right? So it flew like 6 feet from you, and owls are pretty impressive, birds. And so it really got your attention, and it's big, right? And impressive. So what was your thought when that happened? So always go and ask yourself, what did you think about what triggered you when that happened? And that would most likely be your answer. That's how I would answer that.
Um, I'm just
If that makes sense.
I'm going to go into something else with the workshop yesterday, but before I
Mm-hmm.
do, Kathy said your reading that you did for her recently was amazing and her heart is full.
Oh,
So that's Kathy Stevens.
hi, Kathy. Thank you. Thank you for saying that. I'm very happy you enjoyed your reading. I'm very happy your heart is full. And, that's not me, that's your loved ones. I'm just a vehicle. But I love that they were able to, I'm honored that they allowed me to be that vehicle for them to bring it to you. So thank you for sharing. I'm glad you enjoyed. So perfect. Thank you.
So as far as new questions, there's not
Mm-hmm.
many on here right now.
That's okay.
However,
Mm-hmm.
however,
Mm-hmm.
there's a couple of folks that were on yesterday that kind of have some questions for you. So I'm going to maybe
Okay.
segue into the
Mm-hmm.
workshop, which we wanted to talk about anyway.
Sure.
And basically, I mean, I attended. Basically, what you have 20 people on this?
Yeah, we had 20 people in our spirit guide workshop, and it was fun.
Well, we did a lot of good information, but we also did a couple self that you actually guided us through the meditation. So
yes, we did an intention. I did an intention exercise for everyone in the start. I also did a channeled letter by Edgar
Yes.
for everyone that joined. It was a specific letter for those that attended. I always do a letter from the guides whenever I do a teaching workshop for those that are joining and attending, and I love that letter. For
Yeah, it
you
was
guys,
good.
that was a wonderful letter. I loved that one for you guys, and it was specifically for those that were on. And then we did a guided meditation,
Right.
yeah, where you get to meet your guides and feel your guides or have an experience, and it was pretty profound.
So that's what I
Many of
wanted to
them.
talk about.
Yeah.
Being that I was one of the participants,
Yeah,
right?
Gia was there.
What was kind of amazing is everybody's experiences in the meditation, right? So we saw a real range of emotions, right?
Ooh.
I won't go into all that, but there was
It's
a
true.
real range of emotions. People who were maybe they thought they
Touched.
were sad, but they were just really touched.
Yeah.
It was really amazing. And again, so I have a couple of comments on here. But Julie's asking, she says, I'm having difficulty meditating. Any suggestions? And I know you covered it. The reason I'm telling you asking you the question is because, as you said, it's going to take practice makes perfect. So
it's a muscle. You gotta kind of treat it as a muscle. I always say, like, when you go to the gym, you don't get a bicep in the first week. It takes several, but if you stick with it and you're consistent with it, it will strengthen, and you will be able to do it. And so, yeah, what was the question about?
Well, it was just I'm having difficulty meditating, right? So I think I wanted you to kind of reiterate that it is practice.
Yeah, it is practice. But I just want to say, try a different time of the day. Maybe you're not picking the right time of the day for your body to meditate. You have to try a few different hours in the day to see which one fits better for you. Are you setting yourself up correctly to meditate? Are you picking the right hour of the day? Are you picking the right room? Are you setting yourself up to succeed? Are you trying to sit for 30 minutes? When you haven't practiced that muscle, would you be fine and happy to just do it for 10 and just build upon the practice? That's perfectly fine. You don't have to do it for 30 minutes or 25 or 20. You could start with 10. And, I always say start with wherever you're at and build from that. But I believe very strongly that you need to make a commitment with it. I think that you need to do it at a time of the day that you can be successful. I did it at 5 in the morning because no one's going to interrupt me. The phones aren't going to ring. The gardeners aren't going to be there. UPS isn't going to knock on my door. Dogs in the neighborhood aren't going to be barking. So I picked a time that I knew I could be successful. And I didn't put pressure on myself to be sick. I started with 12 minutes and then I just gradually built. But I sat every day. You have to be consistent and you have to be disciplined and you have to want it. And if you do, you will succeed. But don't set yourself up for failure. Set yourself up for success. So only do what you feel you can do and build upon that practice and you will build that muscle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, it wasn't just spirit guides. So there were actually people on that were, I think, getting messages from loved ones, which was kind of amazing, which segues me into Melissa.
Yeah.
She said, I have a question from yesterday. The Beatles song Help was the third Beatles song that popped in my head. Could one of the people that came to me yesterday be my sister who passed? She loved the Beatles.
Yes.
That's quick. Pretty cool.
Yes.
Very cool. Let's see here. Question from Sherry. I find bird feathers in odd places. Is that a sign of my loved ones are with me? How do I know which loved ones? And then you talked about this last week. So
a lot of people get feathers. And yes, it is a symbol for the spirit world. Again, spirit is going to start by giving you things that you can understand. They're going to give you things that are more noticeable. Again, I always tell you spirit's very subtle. They're very, very subtle. But they'll give you things that you can identify, things that you'll be able to notice. And I always say, when you notice it, how does it feel and what does it trigger within you? Those are your answers.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Yeah, those are your answers. Always go off what the symbol feather, what it feels like to you. What came from you with that? What triggered you? What thought did you have? What emotion did you have? What did you think of?
Yeah. It looks like I think it's Sule. It came on a little bit late. I just want you to reiterate because she came on right as you said you were no longer doing tarot card readings, but you are in fact still doing them. And the question is, why did you stop? But you didn't. It's just not on your menu.
Right. I'll just tell you, I changed my menu a little bit, and I just want to briefly discuss this because what has been happening, and I am a big believer to listen to spirit, and I'm always paying attention to how they're working, and I'm always paying attention on how they're working with their loved ones and how they're working with me with the loved ones. And I've seen a common thread what has been very present lately in readings. And, I'm doing, 20, 25 readings a week. Not to mention group readings and, all that, just one-on-ones. And so I pay attention to these messages and how spirit's working. And the trend has been, I want to say in the last 6 weeks, they have made a lot of readings, spirit readings, messages, loved ones, and them in their life. And they have blended these readings together where I used to do soul sessions, you and your life, mediumship readings, connecting with the other side. And I kept them separate. But spirit has been blending them together. So when somebody was coming on and they wanted a mediumship reading, spirit was moving them to them in their life. And that's exactly what happened. Like, for instance, last 1 week I was doing a mediumship reading, and then all of a sudden it's like, did you have a bicycle accident? Did you fall off your bike? And did you have a big bicycle accident? And they said, yes. And I said, and I just went in there. They just moved me to her. And I said, I'm sorry, darling. Do you feel in life that you're having a hard time getting up and moving forward? Are you having a hard time? And then she got emotional and said, yes. And then it led into this personal reading with her. But see, spirit moved me there because spirit wanted her to talk through some things in addition to the mediumship readings. And so because of that has happened so many times, I just said, you know what, right now spirit wants a little bit of a blend. And it might be more spirit than you in your life, or maybe more you in your life than spirit. But I want to have the option and the freedom for the spirit world to be able to do that blend of both if they feel you need it. Because you're always going to get what you need. And so I don't want to go into life, the life reading if somebody only wanted mediumship or vice versa. So I say it's a little bit of a blend, and it allows the freedom of the spirit world to work in the way that they feel is best for you. And so that's why I changed it to just one reading. So I got rid of all of my readings, including tarot, and just try to keep it simple. But I can still do them if you guys want them. Just email me and we can do something like
Right.
that. And they're 30-minute readings.
Yeah.
I know that's a long answer, but I really wanted to cover that because
Right.
I did change my readings,
Right.
but I really wanted you guys to understand why that there has been that thread going with the spirit world where there's a lot of people going on with, there's a lot of stuff going on right now with people, and spirit wants to help them in their life as well to kind of pick them up, and some of them just need some motivation and all of that. And so I'm just listening and doing what they want, and so that's why. So hope that makes sense.
And so back to the, well, there's
So they're called spirit hybrids readings.
right. So you can still get it. If that's
So,
what
and you
want.
can get more
Absolutely.
of one,
Right.
more of the, whatever one you want, but I just
Right.
want that freedom to blend it if that's what your loved ones want. Does that make sense? Okay.
So Jackie has a question.
Hi, Jackie.
What is the difference between a guided meditation and hypnosis? And also, can you cover very quickly about people with busy minds, right? Because that question's coming up to the beats.
Yeah.
Talk about that very quickly.
Yes.
Okay.
So meditation. Okay, perfect. So I love meditation because I love it. So yeah. So okay. So first of all, when you have a busy, active mind, I feel the best way to start a meditation practice, which will allow you to be more successful if you're active with your mind and your thoughts and your thinking and slowing that down, is binaural beats. Binaural beats is how I started my meditation, back in 2016. And I just started with 12 minutes, and what they are is they're beats. One side, you have to have headphones. One side is, and the next side is, and the best description I can tell you of why I think this works, if you have a 3-year-old child or a 4-year-old child, and you got to have a conversation with somebody at the bank, for instance, and you had to bring your kid to the bank, and he's 4 years old, and he's going to interrupt you, and you need to focus. As a mom, you say, here's some color, you bring coloring books and crayons for your little child, and you sit them down and say, you have an activity now to play so you can focus. And that's really what binaural beats is. It allows your brain to have an activity, but that activity, the beats, the sound of the beats, does not allow your brain to think of anything. It doesn't associate it to anything. So the beat sounds doesn't associate your brain to something to get you thinking, like raindrops might, or ocean waves might, or a certain piano music might, right? It might trigger you to go, oh, Beethoven, or,
right.
Rain. Oh, did I shut the window? Is it going to be, you know what I mean? So it just keeps your mind more focused on the beat. It gets your brain focused on the beats, which allows your mind to be quiet and allows the meditation to work with you and let your mind calm down. So that's, in a short version, binaural beats. And you can get them free on YouTube. That's what I did. I plugged in on YouTube, and there's apps.
There's pods.
There's
podcasts.
Headspace.
Yep.
There's Beyond Meditation. There's several different kinds. If you like some guided meditations and you want to mix it up a little bit, I've got 4 free ones on my website. There's one on manifesting called The Artist Studio. There's one, The Power of You, which is about building your personal power. It's about your solar plexus. There is a gratitude one on gratitude, which is about raising your vibration, and that's a lovely one. And then there's a 12-minute one that's on reset, when how to rechange your energy place, to get you back to feeling better. It's an exercise meditation too. So yeah, so those are free on my website. Anytime you can just plug it in and listen to those. But that's what I would say. And then what was the other part of the question?
Well, there was a question about what's the difference between guided meditation and hypnosis.
Yeah, I don't know too much about hypnosis, so I can't really say. I know hypnosis. I believe in hypnosis. I believe it's wonderful. I think it can be very helpful to teach you to, redirect, your belief, smoking and reassociate. But for smoking or eating or, whatever it is. But I can't really speak about it because I'm not really an expert on it. So I can't really say enough about hypnosis. But guided meditations are wonderful. But, I did my meditation in silence. But I understand that it's also important to enjoy your meditations. I think that if you don't enjoy meditating, you're not going to do it. So I believe in being still. I had nothing. I weaned off the beats and just was still and had no music, no sound, no guided meditations at all. But I think it's perfect if you do that, and then you maybe throw in some guided meditations through the week just to mix it up and to keep it fun and interesting, because I think it's important that it's fun and that you don't dread meditating, that you are excited to sit to be with yourself. So I say a mixture would be great, but I would love to see you each just sit and don't, just in silence would be Wonderful. And again, just start in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And build.
Just a cute story. Jeannie, and it's cute because this just happened to me too. But
Yeah.
she said, my daughter lost one earring my mom gave her when she was 3. I found it today in a cooking pan. My daughter was so happy since her grandma's in heaven. And I just found a watch in a box of my dad's, remember?
Yeah, last week.
I'm like, what? It was just random.
Yeah, you know, but you got to understand, like, you know, the world's a little tough at the moment, you know, and loved ones come in closer because the world's a little tough. And so they always want you to know that you're supported. And so they'll give you things like that to let you know. So I think that's amazing. So bravo. So how wonderful for your daughter and you too.
Yeah.
So yeah, but that's why. It's because, you know, there's a lot going on and, you know, they come in closer because we need it.
I'm just going to, let's see. Okay, hey, you're explaining it, good explanation.
Okay, good.
And you know, I think with that, let's talk about you've got some new workshops coming up, right? Two small group. I was saying workshop because we were talking about workshop, but you've got 2 small group readings coming up in September. I know you posted.
Yes, I am. I am working on a 4-week workshop right now for development, but I'm not really going to talk about that. We're not there yet.
I meant
but the small group readings. Yes, I just put 2 on yesterday. So September 18th, which is a Friday, September 18th, and Saturday, September 19th, are 2 small group readings. Only 8 tickets. Everybody gets a reading, and it's that wonderful, lovely, you know, time where we all get together and we get to share in on everyone's readings and everyone gets a reading. So so they are September 18th and 19th, Friday and Saturday.
And it's going to be
and tickets on my website on my upcoming events page. And you'll see one's blue and one's pink, and that signifies the different dates. And you can go on my upcoming events page, monicaturlings.com, go to my upcoming events page, click on the image, and it'll take you to Eventbrite and get a ticket. And then as we get close to the event, I'll send you a Zoom link. And it'll be over Zoom. They're all online over Zoom.
And it's going to be from 5 to 6:30.
5 to 6:30. Both
nights.
Of them Friday and Saturday, 5 to 6:30. Yes.
Somebody was on here earlier, and forgive me, it was way back in the feed in the beginning that had already signed up for one of them. So
yes, I've already sold several tickets. Today. Yes. So if you guys want a ticket, there's only 8 for each night. So yeah, would love to have you and share in that wonderful experience. And it's a fun way to be together. And you know, small group readings are great to kind of tip your toe in to mediumship and feel that love and connection and feel the love of the spirit world working with everybody else giving readings. And a lot of the readings I did over the weekend was amazing because everybody was really touched by other readings, and you see other people crying through the reading that somebody else receives. Right. So you can't not be touched when the spirit world's involved. You just can't, whether it's your reading or someone else's.
Well, and I was going to say,
I love it.
Because again, personally, I've been on it, and guys, if you have not done one of these small group readings, and I'm just saying this, you've got to do it. It's just like she said, it's touching. Not only do you get your own reading, but it's true. Even yesterday in the workshop, I mean, I was really moved. There was some tears on there, and it really moved me,
When you saw them connect with their guides.
So if you guys haven't had a chance to go on to one of these small group readings, by all means, I'm just telling you to do it. And of course, if you want something more private, right, because some people aren't as comfortable doing a group type setting with people they don't know, they can always go onto your website, right?
Yes, you could do a private reading with me also on my website. Go to the menu page. Second thing down, it says book a personal reading, and you go there, you'll look at my calendar, you can pick a day and a time and schedule it, and you will if you did it correctly, you will receive a Zoom link and ID and password for your reading with me. If you finish it, sometimes you don't finish the transaction all the way, and then you'll know that you didn't finish it because you didn't get a Zoom link. So please know you have to finish it all the way through the transaction. But yeah, you can do a private reading with me on my website. Yeah, you can, monicaturlings.com.
I always bring it up because there just are those people that like private.
Yeah, it's true.
So
yeah, that's true. And I love doing those too. Yeah. Listen, I love working with the spirit world, and there's nothing that gives me more joy than bringing forward loved ones and messages and healing and upliftment. And every reading is so different. It's always. I always say it's Christmas every day.
Something new every day.
It is. It's every day because every reading is different. The need is different. The loved ones' personalities come in different. It's always such a treat. I love it. I love making all the friends on the other side.
Yeah. Speaking of, what is our letter from Spirit tonight? What
Yeah.
did Edgar have to say? I know it's about change, but I have not seen it.
It
So
is change. All right, so we get into it.
yeah, let's
We're going
do
to
it.
give away a reading tonight as well. So we're going to do that as well. So let's get in it. So let's do a reading. Let's do a letter. Okay, so let's go. All right. Indeed, it is time we sit together again. Once again, a time to sit and be, to take in more ways of seeing yourself, more ways of understanding yourself. For when you sit and be with yourself, this is what transpires. How does that feel? When you were a child and you went away to camp or went away to college, there was always an anticipation of excitement and nerves. Do you agree? Can you remember coming back from being away at college? 6 weeks, 12 weeks, 6 months, whatever it was for you. Or when you went away for camp for a month or so. You came back from either of those experiences a bit different, changed. Stepping away from your normal environment, it changed you, you see, made you a bit different. It made you depend on yourself in new ways, did it not? And we say that this time that you each are in now is a bit like that. Needing to depend on yourself in a way, a new way, a different way, leaving what was normal and familiar and stepping into something that is not familiar or normal. Can you see what we mean? That this time each of you are in an asking of something of yourself. This time that you're in, this is a reflective time. This time that you sit in now is quite different than it was prior. And you now living life this way is asking something of you. Can I change? Can I be comfortable with things being different? Can I navigate myself through changes? Can I be okay with this heightened level of uncertainty? Who am I as I am stepping into these times, into these changes? How is this time changing me? These would be quite good questions to ask yourself. So we say here today to sit, to be, to reflect, and to ask the questions. How am I different today than I was prior to this change that has occurred? In my life, in my home, in the world. How has it changed me? Many are uncomfortable with change, and you see change is always going to be there. Can you be comfortable with change? Change is always going to be surfacing around you. It is never that it cannot be. So it is important for you to understand yourself and how you navigate yourself through change. Are you one that navigates yourself in it through fear or through excitement? Are you resistant as you step into it? And how does that resistance affect you? Does it give you fear? Or are you one now that says, I will just go. I will just step in and I will allow these changes that are occurring around me, and I will allow them to shape me, because that is in fact what it is doing. It is changing you and it is shaping you, and in many ways it is preparing you. For change is always occurring, and within the change, it is always in preparation for what is to be. And here, you each sit and want to know, what is it to be? What is this going to be like? How is this change going to affect me, my family, my environment? And for some of you, you worry of the world and how these changes will be affecting the world as well. And what we wish to say to you here is to pause first and focus on how the changes are affecting you. We see some of you with far less confidence than you had prior, far less knowing of yourself than prior. For some of you have not stepped into the change at all. You've just allowed it to run you over, burying yourself from it and allowing it to run over you. And we say, never must it need to be that way, ever. But when you do allow it to be that way and you let change run you over, you must ask yourself, what are you hiding from? What are you avoiding? What is it within you that makes you not want to tackle change in this new way? Tackle your life in a new way. For you see, it can be very exciting, change. Having your life become a new way can be very exciting. Yes, some changes are painful. Yes, some changes uncomfortable. But if you can allow and if you can understand that within you there is change as well, and if you can allow yourself to see that change, and as we say, to feel the change within you, how are you different than prior for having this change? And we wish to put focus here in the positive, because so many of you tend to look at change not in a positive way. Because sometimes change shows up, not dressed up, in a way that you like. And you would prefer change to dress differently for yourself, to show up at your door differently. You mustn't examine change by the way it shows up and allow the change to first affect you, you see. And when you can allow the change to affect you in a way that you can see value in it for you, you will see the change dressed up in the way that you like. But sometimes we don't see it when it is right at our door. What we mean to say for you here is many of you wish to have change look a certain way, and it must show up at your door looking a certain way for it to be comfortable for you. For you to want to approach it, it must look a way that feels comfortable to you, that you feel it to be approachable. And we say sometimes these changes do not show up in this way. And when it happens in that way, you will not engage. So we stay in bed, we stay in our pajamas, or we stay within an energy place that does not allow us to move with the change you see. And we say, if you can just open the door to change and allow it in, no matter what it looks like, and know that it will always be in a way that can be for your betterment. If you can see it, to understand that change shows up in different costumes. And although some costumes look more appealing than others, when you take the mask off from the change, when you take the mask off of this change and you embrace it, you will find that there has been tremendous benefit for you. And through that change, your costume as well is changing. Do you see what we mean? We wish you to open the door to change, even if it looks of a way that is not appealing to you, even if it shows up at your door unexpectedly. Welcome the change in and know that it shows up to give you a gift. That the change shows up to change you. And so we ask you here again now, how has this time changed you? How are you different today than you were prior, months before? How have you changed? Has it changed you positively? And where can you see the positive changes within you? Has it changed you negatively? And where do those changes sit within you as well? For that is information for you to look at. For it tells you in those very moments where in fact your work lies within change and within yourself. It tells you there where and what you have allowed in and where and what you have not allowed, you see. And we wish you to just sit here a bit now, in this moment, and take a breath in and take a breath out and have an intention with yourself to be honest. How has this change affected me positively and negatively? Where have I embraced it? And in what areas have I resisted it? For you see, there is great value in knowing how you respond to change and what degrees of change are comfortable for you and what degree of change is not. For that, you see, is where you can see where work lies within you and where change must still occur within you. Where is your comfortable radar? Are you comfortable with this degree, but not that degree? Are you comfortable with this type of change, but not that type of change? Are you comfortable with these types of changes in your life, but not those types of changes in your life? I am comfortable with changes in these areas of my life, but not in those areas of my life. Do you see? Your world is always going to be changing. Therefore, your life will always be changing as well. And it will be quite good for you to understand how you step into the change, where change sits within you, and how you tackle it, how you move with it, and if you move with it at all. So ask yourself too, through these times of great change in life now, have I moved with it? Or have I been resisting it? Can I see areas where change has occurred and it has touched me in a positive way? We say you can. It has made me work differently, live differently, see life differently, see things differently. Do you see? The topic here is change and how you see it, how you allow it in, and how you respond to it. So we leave you here now with an understanding that change will never leave, that change will always be around you and therefore within you. And it is for you to understand and decide where you slide on the scale of change. Where are you comfortable? And where does it become uncomfortable for you? That is good information for you. So sit with that. And we say too, try to move the scale a bit more in the comfortable direction. And until next time, know there is indeed great love for you all here. It is so.
That was a powerful one. That's a good one.
You're buzzing on me. Get me hot.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of comments, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to run through some
Okay.
of these. Let me kind of get back. Let's see here. I mean, obviously, change is hard, right? I just reflect on my own life, and I think we're all going to probably relate to 2020. I think we're all in that same thing where
the year of change.
It's not any that changes any of us,
right?
So we're being forced, like, to step into these changes, whether we like them or not. And there's going to be a couple comments that says, "Yeah, but all changes aren't always positive," and you're right, they're not, but they're always for the positive outcome. Yeah. They hurt sometimes.
Yeah, they said sometimes they're painful, and sometimes we don't welcome them. And it's not what we, and it showed up not looking the way we liked.
Yeah.
But it is always giving us a gift if we just move with a little bit more and see how it's changing us and how we can grow from it and change us.
Yeah. And I'm just going to read down some, I'm just going to kind of go through these comments, Abby just said, changes affect everyone around us, the good or not so good ones, right? So like we just talked about. Christina, sounds like me. Run over. Oh no. I think I've been there, girlfriend.
I think we've all been there, Christina.
Abby, saying changes are necessary to move forward. Well, that's a fact, right?
But it's hard sometimes to move forward, but that's where our work is. And that's what they were trying to say is where is it hard for us? That's when we have to stop and say, okay, I'm okay with this kind of change, but not that kind of change. I'm okay with this kind of change in my life, but not that kind of change in my life. I'm okay in this degree, but not that degree. I'm okay with this amount, but not that amount. So that's for us to say, why only this and not that? Why can we slide a little bit more to become a little bit more comfortable with a little bit more and step out of that comfort zone a little bit and understand that sometimes that uncomfortable will create change within us too, because it's always changing us. Mm-hmm. So I think that's kind of what they were trying to say.
And it was just interesting that what they said was that some of you are just not as confident as you were before, right? And again, I feel like I'm kind of getting back on track now, but I had my months.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty tough. I mean, I've always been very confident, and I just kind of let that fear and didn't want to change.
Yeah, right. Yeah. And they said that. Yeah. They said sometimes we take it to a place where then it becomes a little fearful, right? And that's when our confidence slips, right? Mm-hmm. So they're really wanting us to look within ourselves to see what is comfortable with this and uncomfortable with this. Like pause and kind of say, why am I comfortable with that? Why am I so uncomfortable with this? Why is that so uncomfortable to me? What is it about that makes me uncomfortable? That's data for us.
Right.
And that'll help us move forward a little bit with change and allow that meter to change a little bit, that scale, they said.
And then Adele says, so much change for the world. No one knows what is next, but that's the exciting part of it. Just go with it.
Right, because I don't think we're supposed to know.
I don't think so.
I think if we knew it all, then, we would probably act a little different, right? But sometimes it's kind of, we're learning as we go, and we're learning about us as we go. And even if we fall and we get back up, we've learned from that fall. So there's always lessons for us and teachings from us and growth for us that helps us. And I think if we have all the answers and we have it all figured out, is that really good for us.
I just don't think that's not the
I don't
plan
think
of
that's what
life.
it's about. I don't think that's what life's about.
Me, I'd love to know everything, but
Yeah,
you know
right?
what? That's just not life.
But I always say
It's
too, like there's this, like if you think about like the football players, like they get picked for a team, and I said this before to somebody, I don't remember where, but they get picked for a team, and it's like, oh my gosh, I'm going to play for the Falcons, I'm going to play for Green Day or whatever. It's like, oh my gosh, yeah, and they say, you know what, we're going to pick you to be on our team. You know what, we're going to win every single game. Every single game,
right.
we're going to win the ring. We're going to win the Super Bowl. We're going to win. That'd be really exciting for a hot minute, and then by
Right.
game 6, you're bored because like you already know you're going to win. So it's kind of like, do we really want to know? Isn't
Right.
it
No,
kind of
that's
fun
true.
to kind of step in a little bit and kind of have that excitement of playing the game?
Yeah. Melissa just said she's always been terrified of change when she didn't like where she was. She said she'd resist in fear, like I think a lot of us could agree.
Mm-hmm.
We've all been there.
Mm-hmm.
And just basically saying that she says, I guess I'm one that let it run me over. But I think this year,
But then you just get back up.
But it's affected a lot of us. This is not normal this year, what
Right.
we're going through. And I think
even the toughest, strongest has been
Yes.
affected. We've all have our moments of our
Mhm.
insecurity and where we've had moments where it's run us over a little bit. But that's the good information for us.
And here's a good example. Pamela said, it took me a while to understand the change had to be, and it was better for myself and my mom. So this was a hard change. She says, the change was a gift for myself and my mom. Her
Mhm.
Alzheimer's is beyond my care. She's happy now, though, and I'm at peace. That's a difficult thing, but that's
a
a
difficult
change.
thing.
But see, at the end, she's saying, I'm at peace with that decision. It's
Right.
better for my mother.
Right. And that feels good, right? And you've changed through that experience, even having your mom go through that, right? Also,
Mhm.
being there and watching her has probably changed you a little bit also, right?
Yeah.
So,
and Evie says this, and this this is not, I didn't understand some of my changes years ago, but they make sense now. I understand them now.
right. See, they always say it gives you a gift if we just, but we always expect it to show up looking a certain way, and we get freaked out when it shows up in a different costume, like
Right.
they were saying. It's like when it shows up looking like Darth Vader,
Right.
and you want it to look like
Prince Charming or whatever, yeah.
Prince Charming
Yeah.
or Tinkerbell, but it shows up as Darth Vader or something. It's like or it looks that way, but when you take the mask off,
Yeah. Vicky says taking chances for the change can make your life, mind, and soul more fulfilled. Making new change and better choices makes you a better, wiser person. Right?
Right. I think it's a good thing for us to think about here. Like, and I've thought about this. And, I'm also going to say, too, that sometimes change affects, people in our family, too. So, like, I remember going through great transformation. And, I'm going to have a little honest, talk here for a second. But I remember my older son, and he went away to college, and then he got jobs, and he moved to different places. He wasn't home so much. And that was all during this time I was going through really big transformation, my mediumship and all that kind of stuff. And then when he would come back, he would kind of like look at me weird and different and everything. Yeah. And I would think like, oh, he's not accepting me and doing the mediumship, or he's uncomfortable with that. And, and he's uncomfortable with that. My younger son was more into it. He's just not that comfortable. And yesterday, I found out what it was. He said, Mom, it wasn't had anything to do with the mediumship thing. He says, I changed so much. It was weird for him
to come back home.
He says, I came home and my mom was different.
Right.
I didn't, stress out about certain things. And, I was so different. It was like, who is this person who took my mother?
Yeah.
So that was changed that he had an uncomfortable adjustment to, that he's now adjusted to.
It's true.
But, even
home.
Even little things like that, right? It can make others even uncomfortable with our own personal transformation. And that was a light bulb for me going, dang.
Because you changed.
Yeah, because he saw all the change in me that affected him, that made him uncomfortable.
Yeah. Where'd my mom go?
Yeah, where'd my mom go? Who's got my mom? Because
she's not yelling about the dirty clothes.
Yeah,
and
making sure everything matches.
Yes.
And, don't touch the pillows. And he's like, who is this person?
It's true. I mean, I'm just kind of going through the comments, but it's true.
Anyway, just a little funny thing.
Angela says changes are unnerving, but it's fact of life. She just rolls with it, hopes for the best, one step at a time. Right? She says she can always count on her dog as well as her friends. She said she took the negative out of her life, and she always has an open mind. And
that's good.
She said, yes, I see the change, and is always ongoing.
It's always ongoing, never going to change. So don't you think we ought to just kind of get used to it? It's like, and think about it too, like this uncertainty stuff. Like, we don't really have any certainty in anything.
No.
What do we really have certainty in? Is there certainty in anything, really?
No.
Except for we've got to pay taxes.
And death.
And death. I
Death,
mean,
yeah.
we know we're going to die one day, and we know we're going to always have to pay taxes. That's really the only things that are really certain.
Mhm.
The rest is really, we just have to kind of go with it and kind of see where we direct ourselves and how we step into these changes. You
Yeah.
know, because it's always going to happen. And I think sometimes this uncertainty, we don't really have much certainty. So we should be a little easier with it.
But I think this year has thrown everybody off their axis, right? Their axis. I think it's
Thrown off the horse.
you know what I mean? It's kind of like you're here and you kind of knew 2020, here's where I'm going. This is my plan. And then this happened, right? And
Right.
then I think it's just like they're great messages because it kind of brings the light bulb on to, hey,
Because we get
we've
freaked
got-
out. And it's like we
yes.
get so in the negative. This isn't going well. And this is not showing up looking the way we want it to look. This isn't the costume. Like this, I'm not comfortable with this. And this is just too much. And it brings us back to kind of saying, well, why am I not comfortable with this? What is it about that? Because that teaches us a little bit more about ourselves. And the guides are always trying to help us understand
Mhm.
ourselves more. And so they always get us to ask the questions to get us to dig a little deeper. Why? Why is this uncomfortable, but this is comfortable? Why can
Yeah.
I be okay with this change, but not that change? It asks of us. So this change is asking something of us. It's asking us to dig deeper within ourselves to find out why certain things aren't comfortable to
Yeah.
us.
You know, Paula says, we'll understand this one.
Hi, Paula.
She says, for me, change right now is age and the changes that's coming with getting older. I mean, we can all relate to that, right?
Yeah,
It just
definitely.
seems to just get tougher and tougher.
Yeah, it gets tougher.
It's
Yeah,
tough.
it gets
So
tougher. It's but listen, we can't change that either.
So we got to step into
So
it.
we got to step
Yeah.
into it. So we just got to rock it and say, you know what? We can't compete with the 25-year-olds.
Yeah. Darn it.
Dang it. We can't, and that's actually in a lot of
That's
ways,
okay.
I think it's freeing.
Yeah.
You know, we had that fun time. Let them have that run now, and
because we know what's coming.
we know.
So you better enjoy yourself.
So, yeah, I mean, I think it could be freeing to just accept us as we are and know that, we're not going to change that. We can't put that clock back.
I like this. This is
Own it, girl. Own it.
Yeah, but there's an adjustment to that for sure.
Adjusting's okay, but adjusting's allowing you to move that scale, because you're adjusting into it. Ease into it.
Carrie puts capital F period EAR, fear. Stands for false evidence appearing real.
Ooh,
I like that.
False evidence appearing real.
Yeah.
False evidence appearing real. And also fear, if you think about it, those are pretty much always your negative thoughts that you put in your mind. That stuff you've made. I always call them man-made thoughts, right? Because we are putting that in our thoughts. And we have the power to sit there and change that negative thought and change it to more powerful, because negative ones do create the fear.
Right.
So, we have to be mindful of what we're thinking.
Yeah. And Rita said she's going through some really tough changes right now. So she said this was perfect.
Oh, good, Rita. I'm happy.
I'm going to bring this up because it always comes up every week, So the question is, and this is one of those changes that is not good, right? You're grieving the loss of a loved one.
Yeah.
And so the question is, well, how am I supposed to step into that change? Or how am I, it's time is a lot of that.
You step into it gently.
Mm-hmm.
You just step in gently. And listen, it ain't a marathon. You don't have to run.
No
you don't
time
have to
limit.
run through the change. Yeah, I always say just move forward, at any degree, at any amount, just forward. And, it's going to be different for others. Everyone's going to be a little different on how that is. But yeah, grief is a tough one because we can get stuck in that. And we have to really be mindful not to, but still honor the fact that we're healing from a loss of love, because that's really what grief is. It's because you love so much. You love so greatly, and that's what you're feeling, that loss of that love. But you don't stop loving.
Right. Yeah. Pamela says she fought change as if she were a child throwing a tantrum. Spent time thinking, getting to know myself and my ability to accept change and grow even if change was painful at first.
Yeah.
Right? Dottie, change is certain. Change is constant. Embrace
Hi,
change.
Dottie. Embrace change. Yeah. And, I think we always struggle with that so much, the change, but, maybe we ought to do something like a practice change day. Like, Tuesdays we're going to try doing things that we're uncomfortable with. Why don't we just do that? Like, let's create an exercise for ourselves that say, you know what? Or every day I'm going to do something that is uncomfortable for me. Something that I normally wouldn't do that I'm going to try and do. And for maybe it's an easy thing like, Brussels sprouts. I hate
Right.
Brussels sprouts, but I'm going to try to open my mind and see if
Not the
maybe
way I
I
make
like
them.
it now.
You'll love them the way I make them. I'll make you some
See,
Brussels
like,
sprouts.
but like, let's try. Maybe we can all just play a little exercise, have a little fun with it a little bit. Change is always so, maybe we can just kind of ease into it a little bit more fun. And why don't we try to do things to get more comfortable with change? So why don't we try that? Why don't we try the little exercise?
Yeah. And I think
what can we do that's what we normally wouldn't do that would have cost us a little bit of uneasiness,
right,
and do it anyway and see how that feels.
Right.
And I bet you that makes us feel more confident if we successfully do it, right?
Just do something
and
every
that
day.
builds confidence too.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I didn't think I could do it. I was afraid to do it, but I did it. So I guess that's nothing to be afraid of, right? So we should maybe do a little practice once a week or a little something every day. That'd be a good muscle building.
Easy little things.
Easy little things. Like little things to build that muscle of embracing change.
And I kind of keep because there's a lot of things on grief, so I always go back to that. It's a little bit different, right? So that's not the change we're talking about. Hey, you need to step into being happy again. That's not what you're saying.
We're not saying anything about change.
That's a whole
that change with
separate,
grief. I mean, grief is a whole different.
Right.
That's a whole other thing, and we have to always be very careful of how we feel when we're grieving because grief is. It's individual. As I always say, it's individual and personal. And, we have to do it in our own timeline. As I say, as long as we're taking some steps forward and maybe spending time in appreciation, of that individual and what they gave to us, kind of maybe keeps us in that energy place of gratitude too, of, because you never lose that. You never lose those that love and you never lose that love and that feeling of what you received from that relationship and what it gave to you. That's something you always have. And so maybe a little bit of gratitude. Maybe it's something that some of you might, can maybe practice. Maybe every morning sit a little bit and just pick something about that person that you're really grateful for.
I kind of like that.
And again, it's a little bit, I'm not saying it's an overnight fix because it isn't going to be, but it's something to go do positively towards approaching grief in a way that could be better for our heart, and just sit a little bit with, I'm going to sit for 5 minutes and just be grateful for something about who they were, what they did, or how you were together, or what they brought, to you, a memory, something, and that might be nice. To kind of lift.
Or a way to honor them too.
It is honoring them.
But there's so many things you can do once you get past that point that, if they, let's say, you can volunteer at something they were passionate about, or you can give, my dad,
great things.
My dad had heart failure, right? So one of the first things I did was, of course, I wanted to be kind of part of that, right? Because that honored him.
Yeah.
And it also took my mind off some awful grief. It didn't make it go away, but it gave me another positive focus, a change. It made me step into something else.
In a positive way that honored him and honored your feelings and gave back in a little bit of way, say, I'm doing this for you. Or I'm connecting with you in this way because this you know what I mean? So that could be,
again, just something to throw out there. Or, my dad was an avid fisherman. I'm a very girly girl. But you know what? I got out there and I fished because it was what he loved. And, I sat in that piece of that with that fishing pole, and all of a sudden I love fishing.
See?
So it's
that was a gift that came to you through that. And you were able to find a little peace.
Well, I felt like he was with me,
which is also a gift.
Just something I'm throwing out there.
So sit like that a little bit. I think a little 5-minute gratitude exercise, something that you could do to honor them and you with them.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Just
I like that.
Yeah, just there's plenty of comments. Fear. People saying fear of failure. It makes change uncomfortable, right? Which is normal for quite a few people, a lot of people. Leslie, it's made me see what is really important.
Yeah.
Dottie, if you're fully in the now, change is irrelevant. You need to be in the now.
Always in the now.
Always in that, which is hard,
in the present, because again, that's what gives us a lot of anxiety, is being too much in the future, because we don't control that. We don't even know what tomorrow is, guys. I mean, we just gotta stay present. When we go too far forward, it gets us anxious and then the fear goes and it gets overwhelming. So stay more present.
Yep. Deborah says, I see change as an adventure. It's an interesting journey and even greater reward when I help others feel confident or release fear, trauma, etc. With my
Beautiful.
professional career, she does hypnosis.
Beautiful. Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, she does hypnosis. So that's cool.
Wonderful. Where are you located, darling?
Let's see what she tells us.
Yeah. Let us know where you're located, honey.
Oh, Kim said, so much change so fast. Trying to keep up is challenging, but it has strengthened my faith.
See, that's and that's a gift.
Yeah.
And that's a gift because, you know, faith is so important for us, right? To move us forward. Because I think if we have that faith, then we get through things. You know what I mean? That's our little security.
I think faith
blanket.
and hope. You got to have hope, and you got to have
hope
faith,
and faith,
right?
Yeah,
I think
hope and faith for sure.
Rachel said the change has been so amazingly
Hi,
positive
Rachel.
for me in so many ways. I love this letter. Thank you.
Hi, Rachel. Love it.
And Debbie's
So
absolutely right. Debbie goes, we have much more wisdom than a 25-year-old. Yes, we do.
Exactly. Right. And you know, and that's what makes us special in a different way than the 25-year-olds that are special in their way. You know, we all bring something to the table, don't we? So we all bring something wonderful. We have to honor where we're at in our life. So we just got to embrace it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love that, Debbie. Perfect.
Debbie just said, finding the connection with the spiritual world through you makes grief easier. And it does.
Thanks, Debbie.
It does.
Thank you.
Knowing that you can have that conversation with your loved one, that's a big deal.
Yeah, it is to like let you know that they are still with you and around you, and they're with you and supporting you, you know.
Some good comments.
Yeah.
Should you give away a reading?
Yes, we should give away a reading. Let's do this.
Yes.
And I just want to say first, you know, you guys are amazing for all coming on here like this. You really are building such a wonderful community for each other. You know, G and I love coming on and doing this, and it's so much fun for us and to be here and for Edgar to come and do the letters and for all of you to be here together and everyone reading each other's letters. You have no idea that your comments help another person, and it's so beautiful. So it's wonderful, this community that you guys are each doing. You know, together. It's just wonderful. So I just love it so much.
Well, I love that because, you know, it's true. You may have that one comment that helps somebody you don't even know, and you don't even have any idea
that what you write, how it affects somebody positively, and makes a difference. And that's really powerful. And I think it's amazing. So we all are such a force to be reckoned with.
That's right. That's right.
So we're going to do a reading.
I'm going
to give away a reading. So here's what it's going to be. I just want you to write something. I'm going to intuitively pick it. One sentence only, please. And I just want you to write one sentence, just one sentence. Only do it one time so we can get through them. And one comment, one sentence. And I want it to be on what can you do or what will you do to try to embrace change in life? What can you do to embrace some change, to allow us to get a little bit more comfortable with change? So for you, what would that be for you? What can you start doing? One sentence. And while you're doing that, I am going to...
So Dottie, I noticed you put a number. We're not doing the numbers this week, so...
No.
Yeah, we're not doing that.
No, we're doing something off of the letter. So that's how we win readings now, because I really want to implement the letter, because Monday nights are about the letters with Edgar. And so we decided it would be much better to... I could give away a reading intuitively, and it's going to go off of the sentence that you write in regards to change and how you can positively implement it in your life. Pick an area, pick a top, something, just one sentence on how you can implement change a little bit in your life. So that's what it's going to be. And then I have a couple quotes. I'll read some of those.
We'll give you guys a chance to go ahead and put your sentences down, and you do your quotes. And then we'll...
So here's a quote. We must accept the end of something in order to begin to build something new. That's a quote. We cannot become what we want by remaining what we are. That's from Max Dupree. Life is about moving on, accepting changes, and looking forward to what makes you stronger and more complete. I don't know if I like that one, actually. I don't really like that one.
I was thinking, I kind of stopped and do you see me looking at you?
I read that. I'm like, what was I thinking? I don't know. I'm Xing that one. I don't like that at all.
Yeah, not into that one.
What was I thinking? I don't like that one. Remove. Delete. Okay. Change is inevitable. Growth is optional. If you don't like something, change it. If you can't change it, change your attitude about it.
That's a good one.
Mhm. That's a famous one. Maya Angelou.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Everything you want is on the other side of fear. Jack. Jake. Jack Canfield. And suddenly you know it's time to start something new and trust the magic of beginnings. The secret of change is to focus all of your energy not on fighting the old, but on building the new. Socrates. So those were some quotes. Whoops, I just dropped my pen. So we are going to give away a reading. So we're about ready to do that. I just want to remind everybody, if you guys are wanting to partake in my small group reading, September 18th and 19th of September, 8 seats on each small group reading. You can buy them on my website. This is really...
I'm going to go ahead when you're ready and start reading down so that we can kind of get through, because they're still putting them on, but I have plenty to read if you want. You want to do it?
I dropped my pen.
And so I think for most of you that have done this before, I'm going to be giving your initials and reading your quote, right?
Because I don't want to know who you are.
She doesn't want to know who you are.
I don't want to know who you are. I just want to feel it.
Exactly.
Okay, so we're going to give away a reading. Gia's going to give me the sentence with the initial, and I'm going to feel into who is going to read it, who's going to win it.
Get those little writing hands ready. Okay. Let's rock and roll.
Okay. All right.
Tell me when you're ready.
Ready.
Okay.
No, I'm not. Hang on.
Oh, okay. Okay. LS. I can handle the changes in my life, which have been good and devastating because I have learned to practice acceptance.
Okay.
DM. Reframe the change as adventure.
DM?
Mm-hmm.
I like that.
Yeah. KM. Pause, breathe, accept, repeat.
Good.
DG. Breathe. VH. Keep faith and stay focused. AS. Work on my reaction to stressful situations. NN.
NN?
Mm-hmm. I will meditate and set new goals for the future. PS. Accept it and find the positive with the change. MS. M as in Mary. S. Let go of my fear and just jump right into it. SC. Take time each day to write down what I am thankful for that day.
That's good, darling.
DS. Choosing to learn to cook and exercise, to get healthy, and see what changes that brings to my life.
Mm-hmm.
KA. Hope. KC. Eyes and heart open to accepting the sign of welcome change. PM. PM. Try to embrace it.
Edgar always says, if you don't try, you'll never know.
Never know.
Well, Mothers say that too, though.
Yeah. RC. I can have more confidence in myself for changes that have come about in my life. Ready?
Mhm.
AC. I will keep doing the same as well, being kind to others as well as helping others.
Mhm.
AC.
That was AC.
No, this is a different AC. Sorry, back to back. It's different AC.
Mhm.
Stop looking back.
It's a good one too.
JM. Whether change comes as a gentle nudge or a kick in the ass, I want to trust it. That is for the best. That it is for the best. EL. Take a deep breath, let go of the fear, and take the step forward. MH. Learn to like my own company and being alone. CH. I will step out of my comfort zone and not be afraid of failing because overcoming creates confidence and growth. KM.
KM.
Have the strength to change what has been hidden in myself. CS. Let go of control and live in the now. JW. By doing service to others, it will help me to understand and change in a positive way. VO. Look back for lessons and forward with newly gained wisdom. JO. Whichever path I will adjust my sails fearlessly to the changes of my journey and sail with hope. AA. Instead of avoiding or resisting change, I will try to be open as change may lead me to where I want or need to be. If there were no change, there would be no butterflies. PS. I will embrace change by being open-minded and accept with peace. Another PS, and it's not the same PS. So another PS. I will be less fearful and walk into it more confidently, knowing in the long run I will learn and have grown. PK. Wake up early, meditate, walk, yoga to boost my spirit up so I will take care of other spirits as well. DF. Open my heart to more possibilities through one step at a time and thankfulness for the opportunity to grow. KM. Embrace change by focusing on the growth. Okay, one of them saying that I missed her, but I did not. One second. Okay, while you're looking at that, one person saying that I didn't get theirs, but again, I did.
Have them just do it again.
Yeah, that's what I said. I just said to send it again. Somebody just said she read it. I heard it. Well, she could send it again just in case. We'll make sure. Make sure I didn't miss anybody else. I'm pretty confident I got everybody. Okay, no, I did get that one. So you're good. Yeah,
good?
It's definitely there. Yep.
Okay. Well, yeah, okay.
It's there.
Okay. Okay. Give me a second. I'm just going to field you. You want to just talk for a second?
Sure.
I'm going to tell them, just remind them of the workshops, and then I'll just.
Yeah,
not
just
the
another.
workshops, the small group.
No, the small group. Just
Yeah,
another quick
just
reminder for the small groups. If you haven't had a chance to sign up, please go on to Monica's website and you can sign up there. I also want to kind of bring up which you didn't this week is if you want to do a small group reading Zoom meeting with your own friends, your own circle family, those are a lot of fun too. So if you've not done one of those, you can get your own group of 8 people that you know, and then you can. Sorry, I'm reading this. 1 second here. Sorry. I didn't miss this one either, but I'll just do this. 1 second. Don't announce anything, please. I'm sorry. So back to when you're doing a small group, if you want to put together your own network or your own group, if you're more comfortable that way, that is a lot of fun too. Doing the Zoom readings. And of course, you can be all different parts of the country. It's a great way with everything going on to be with your friends and family and do a small group reading. So I would definitely look into that as well. And that also can be booked on the website. And then.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Let me just double check.
Okay.
That one. Okay. All right, guys. So G's going to add that up here and make some sense there.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay,
No, fine.
good. All right. So I just want to say thanks so much for taking the time here to be here today. I want to let you guys all know that we will not be here next week.
Oh, yeah.
So next Monday, we will not be doing a Letters from Spirit. I'm going on vacation. So I'm doing a little road trip. So this was kind of a bucket year list that we've got a lot of stuff canceled. And so we're doing a road trip bucket list. So anyway, so there won't be any Letters from Spirit on Monday next week, but we'll resume again the following week. So so we won't be here next week, but maybe I'll chime in on a live or something while I'm away. We'll see how connection is and all that kind of stuff, internet connection and stuff, and where we're at, because we'll see. But so I just want you guys to know that. And I want to say thank you to everybody who has been, who attended my workshops, who has been attending all my group readings. We had such a, and all of you that have come to me for private readings, I just want to say thank you so much for all of that. It's just been wonderful meeting you and wonderful meeting your loved ones on the other side. And such an honor to, make those connections for you and them. And I really enjoy it so much, and I take it so seriously. And I want you to know I always want to do my very, very best for your loved ones on the other side, and to bring them forward accurately for you, to bring them in as accurately and really bring them into the room for you. And I want so much to do my very best for them to create that wonderful reconnection for you guys. So I love that you've given me that opportunity to do that. And so thank you all for that. And Gia is done. Did you find it?
Yeah,
Gia is ready. Okay. So thank you all. Anybody want a private reading, go on my website, and you can book it right there and pick your day and time and all that, okay? So you can do all that there. And the winner is, I don't have the name, I don't have initials.
I do. Yeah, so the winner that you selected intuitively was Sharon Carrier, and she had put, take time each day to write down what I am thankful for that day. And that was the one you selected. So Sharon, congratulations.
Congratulations, Sharon. So you won a 30-minute reading with me. And just go on Messenger. Do not do it here, but on Messenger, please. On Facebook Messenger, just message me your what time zone you're in and your email so I can send you a Zoom link. And if there's certain days of the week that are easiest for you, better for you, please include that as well. So congratulations. I look forward to giving you a lovely reading. And I want to say thank you for being on. Thank you, everybody, for being on and creating such a wonderful community for everybody that's joining. It's really just so heartwarming. And I want to say thank you guys all. I won't be here next week. Gia won't be here next week. We will see you in 2 weeks.
Sharon she said, thank you so much. Today is my husband's first heavenly birthday. So see how things happen? How does those things happen? But they do. That is
because
amazing.
I get drawn.
That's amazing.
And so wonderful. So pretty sure your husband probably had something to do with that.
Probably so. Oh, I just got the chills.
Oh, yeah, so did I.
Yeah, wow. Probably did.
Okay. So wonderful. So wonderful. So I'm so happy. So thanks, you guys, all of you, from the bottom of my heart. I'm so grateful for all of you guys chiming in every week. And please share it with your friends. Spread the word. Spread the love. They're fun, uplifting Monday nights. And so love for you to share with friends or family and join in. So thank you for those that do. And we'll see you guys in 2 weeks. Okay?
Have a great couple of weeks, guys. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.